Hello there everyone, and welcome back to Napoleon Total War with the Great War mod. Last time around, Mackensen took on the Russians out here on the Russian steppe and won. Since then, the Russians have retreated to the north, back to Novgorod. We will pursue them with Mackensen, but we'll stay over on our side just so we can get the replenishment up, so we're at full strength as we cross the border to attack Novgorod. In other news, the army of the Herring army from the north with its tanks is moving closer and will be able to aid Mackensen after he's taken Petrograd, and a combined assault will be made on Petrograd. Wonderful. And let's see, we've got a one of these battle cruisers heading out to join the main fleet. As we go south here, we can, yes, right, Maximilian von Prittwitz with his very dated army will actually be able to contribute to the war after, what, 3 or 4 years at this point. 3 years, actually. So he will actually contribute to the point by taking Odessa, the little Tartary region. Lost 300 men, killed the entire garrison. With this, I can in fact liberate Ukraine, but I have no interest in doing that because I want to control the port here, because that gives us access through this port to the oil of the Caucasus. So I can trade in oil. That is, of course, if I'm able to clear out the Russian fleet, which might be easier said than done, as neither the Black Sea is currently not controlled by me at all. I wish the Ottomans would have done something here at least. And the Mediterranean is impassable given the Italians and the French right now. But still, we're able to deny the trade for the Russians. So they are no longer able to trade with anyone because all trade is now cut off. This port is under our control, so they can't trade through there, and the trade out of the port up here is blocked, so they can't trade there. Also, Otto von Bello should make his way to Smolensk, and he's going to bring in this assault grenadier or rifle grenadier of this assault battalion will join him. Smolensk, a very important railway hub here, stretching to Minsk, down to Kiev, all the way to Belgorod, and then also off to Moscow. So really important, and that when taking that, since there's no railroad going in between here, it will cut the Russian Empire in two, or at least the western part, so they'll have these 3 regions cut off from these 3 regions. So very important that we take that. So that's, I've done everything in the east. Let's go ahead and see. We've got Paul von Hindenburg. Austrians are blocking me, so I'll have to go through the rough terrain to get to this point. Over here, the Austrians have brought up extra troops on laying siege, and currently no one wants to make a move, which might suggest that the Austrians are in command of the situation. As the Romanians slowly starve, I'm sure they will be defeated by the end of this. So it could mean that if the bug still persists, that it crashes when with the Romanians. Then we'll see, but hopefully not, as we were able to work past it here. It hopefully should work past here. Otherwise, I might just be able to give the Romanians, like, I was thinking, if push come to shove and if they lose that province and it crashes, I could, like, give them in a peace treaty or something and give them like a region back here just so they survive until we're able to actually figure out what is, or I say we, I'm not that involved in it, but to be able to finish that. With that said, also, you might have noticed there's some changes on the map. So all the important battlefields, or the most glorious battlefields, have now been turned from crossed swords to these heaps so you can see kind of the burned fields. Here's the Battle of Somme, December 1916, where we have a victory over the British Empire. There's also some other changes like here, as will the Italians lay siege to my port instead of having the kind of net or fence that goes out across the harbor. Instead now you see mines are all across here. I'm not entirely sure if this is a new change or if there's always been, but I just noticed that it's no longer the Arc de Triomphe, but it is in fact the Eiffel Tower. I don't know if that's a new thing or if that's always been the case. It might very well have always been the case that it's, but I just like, I guess I haven't seen, guess I haven't been paying attention enough before. But there's the Eiffel Tower. It might very well have been there before, just that I haven't paid attention to it. Right, so all of that is done, and I'm not really, I don't want to make any move here to attack the French, because they're just going to bring in more, so it might as well just be a stalemate. So I'm not interested in anything there. Down here, we're going to advance towards the Italians, but we're going to go ahead and replenish a little bit more before I start my conquest of Sicily. I'm very disappointed in the fascist Italians, because they basically haven't done anything. But then again, their power is feeble and their wealth is meager, so they're not doing too well. I believe I've given them as much technology as I can, so I'm not entirely sure. Currently, I guess they're focusing everything on building up the province rather than building an army. I could give them tons of money and hoping that they join in, but really what I would want them to do then is to build fleets to attack my enemy, not so much creating armies. Because I don't think I'll ever be able to contest the French and the Italian Navy. What I think I should be kind of focusing on is trying to get like a ship that I can slip past them with an army, so I can go ahead and end them by landing a force and taking them out, and that way removing their fleets. And if I'm so able, then I could combine all the fleets in the Mediterranean, all the ships in the Mediterranean, and start clearing out this and get the oil. But I think, given as it is late June 1917, we've got a little over a year left. So at this point, it's kind of wasted effort, really. Also, yeah, this is, I guess, new as well. I just noticed that I forgot that about that as well, that the airfields now are visible, so you can actually see when they're built like that. You can zoom in real close with the air tower and hangars and so on. With that, we're not just ready to end turn, because we need to start going against the British, but we can't do that as long as their fleet remains. And I think I've spotted it up here. I've been going along the coast here. Oh damn, they're building up quite the force. Could be that this force is then looking for a pickup here. But I've been looking for the British fleet that I constantly see on the end screen, kind of passing out here, passing out there. But I haven't been able to find it yet. I think I might be able to. Or I should actually go towards the inner... Oh! I thought I was gonna... we're moving in here and hiding. They're actually right there. It's not that strong of a fleet. Armored cruisers. That should be doable. However, if they combine with this fleet down here... That's armored, a lot of armored cruisers here as well. Should be easy pickings for my larger ships. My fleet, of course, contains 5 of the new super heavy ships. But I think we'll try as best to take one fleet at a time. So I'm gonna move kind of north to the point where they won't be able to combine their fleets in a attack on me. But I still, from this position, would be able to strike this one and take it out. And that should be fine. And yes, that's about that, what I can do for this turn. Let's go ahead and end it. And see what we can come up with, really. And we're back after that end turn. The British fleet has skedaddled and moved further here to hide somewhere again. I don't know if I can... I can't even fly to that part to try and discover them. We can head over to the other side of Scotland, see if we can see them there. I guess we can hope that they're sitting here somewhere. And I can go after them there. At the same time, the British kind of consolidate into 2 full stacks here. A lot of interesting infantry and units that are building up around close to Scotland there. Could be dangerous. I wonder if I should just... Thing is, without... Let's see. Let's have a battle cruiser. Battle cruiser should move in, but not too close. That should be enough to jump to that port safely. We don't reach, but neither does this fleet. It only goes there, so I could safely head quite far in there trying to discover the British fleet. So I guess that's what we're doing. Bit dangerous here. There it is. We found it, but we're not able to reach it. Actually, I could start a battle by sending some of the smaller ones over there first. Or which one is it that is so slow? What ship? Because as you can see, most of these ships seemingly can move quite far. So it's all down to this one, it seems. The pre-Dreadnought battleship. Is that the only one that's pre-Dreadnought in this? Oh, it is this one. The only pre-Dreadnought battleship. That is slowing down the entire fleet. If I remove him, I can actually reach them. Maybe that should be in my battle then. Before we go ahead and do that battle then, I would just want to show what happened here. So, the Austrians attacked. They failed. They were forced to pull off. And what happened? Well, the Ottomans went in and they took the province, kind of as expected. Sneaky Ottomans, using the Austrians as cannon fodder. We're going to continue through here. See if we can join, but that's very unlikely. With that, all the Romanian forces disappear from this area. I want to kind of see if the Austrians have any... The Austrians would double down on attacking through this route then. Because that's the only open border now they have with an enemy, unless they're really... I don't think they will... Yeah, I don't think they're going to attack the Ottomans. I really like the fact that the Ottomans are actually quite active. They have taken 2 provinces. The Austrians have only taken Serbia. We should start marching here as well. What can I recruit? What would I want to recruit here? We would need some... what's it called? Just some reserves to hold it. Doesn't look like I can get any. Next best thing would be mounted infantry. We'll advance, we'll open up the bridge. Get rid of that. And then we'll aim for Ukraine. Because that's actually an important area. We're gonna send the plane over there. Then I'm send the cavalry down to open up the port. And that should all work out pretty well. So that should work fine. Then we do have more movements here. So we'll continue along the road there. That also means that I'll be able to attack Smolensk. We're gonna bring in the Rifle Grenadiers. And then demand surrender. They accept. Liberate the White Russians. I can actually start the White Russians here. Which is odd, because, like, no. I can't start the White Russians before the communists have turned up. So, we're gonna peacefully occupy this area. For now, anyways. And, I mean, peaceful and peaceful. I don't know how peaceful we were, but there's that. Road to Moscow should be open. We could start moving along there to try and get to that. And then Mackensen is 3 turns away from attacking Novgorod. The army, the Herring army is ready to move across and attack their capital if necessary, or when we're ready. So that's going on. Nothing to be done here. I will try to cross here at some point. Get Sicily out of the picture. Recruit a cheeky ship. What I think we'll do, because we're not getting the transport ship out of there, and we can only recruit 1. So I think we'll decommission it over there, rebuild it here, and try to jump across there and get rid of the Italian fleet. And yes, there's nothing else to be done. Let's go ahead and test out our super dreadnoughts. Let's see if I can remember. Yeah, this one. We leave the pre-dreadnought shit ship and go ahead and attack Sir John Jellicoe, and will sink his bloody force. I thought I would be clever by splitting my forces, attacking from 2 sides, and as per usual, that does not work out for me. Currently, as we see, we've got 2 of the battle groups moving along here, while the super heavies are actually so far out there you can't see them, but they should be able to start shelling the back end of the British formation. So these 2, first group and second, is moving along here, and both these groups are trading fire with the British, even though some of my ships have been hit pretty hard. The lead ship has been hit pretty badly there, the SMS Nassau. The British are faring a lot worse, where the Iron Duke is almost about to go under. Let's go ahead and see if I can't get my super heavies. Yeah, my super heavies is about to just start shelling the very back end. Sorry, about the British fleet here. There we go. Super heavy is now shelling the small armored cruiser. We'll chug along for a bit, and then we'll try to go up the rear of these. At the same time, it looks to be going pretty well. What I should do is, first group should take more of a decisive angle to go ahead of the British fleet, because they're doing quite nicely like that right now. And then we've got fourth group, which is my armored cruisers. You can see the range is not very good on these. Actually, the range... yes, the ranges have been changed to make the smaller boats more accessible. I forgot about that. They should join in a little bit here. I won't turn this one to go up the same route as the first group until they get closer to each other. I want a more tighter fit in between the 2 groups as they move here. Lead ship seems to be ready to sink here. Note though, however, he still has guns and he still has crew, so it's definitely an improvement in the way the ships fight. Super heavies have been targeting the very back of the formation, but we've completely kind of... Oh, it's almost like this two formation of the British. They kind of split off. And you can see the front of the British here, they are all kind of heading for home, as it were. The two lead ships are turning. Time to turn. The second group will turn as the British are turning away from us. Will turn in a more decisive angle towards them. It could be that they're just turning to get their good side on us. We've got the HMS Colossus on fire and surrendered. So far, heavy Dreadnoughts, because of my misplacement, haven't done much. There goes the second ship of the British fleet. My fleet is going strong, but we have 3 ships that are doing quite poorly as of this moment, I should say. However, as we can see, the lead formation of the British, half the ships are on fire and surrendering. And for each ship that gives up, it means that there's less targets for us. So more fire concentrated on less ships. Which leads to catastrophe for the few ships that are left. And especially now, as they're kind of gathering up here, I wish we would get a catastrophic explosion. Kind of looks like this one might be catastrophic. Yeah. I noticed the sails, what was left of the sails, started burning. What was that? Not entirely sure what. I think that was part of the sails or something that flew around there. So yeah, these guys not having a good time. Still though, the Admiral is still on deck, as it were. Our fleet bombarding them, breaking them apart. Oh, look at that. The big fleet is now quite close. I mean, in normal Napoleon, this would not be considered close. They're chugging along really fast. I will turn them to the west, and in so doing, they should start laying their guns on the smaller ships here in the back and slowly eat up the smaller ships. We've got King Edward leading the fleet there. British heroically continuing to resist our navy.
Their admiral has fallen, sir.
There we go. The admiral has fallen. We'll continue circling around them and we'll meet with the... Oh, I might have gone a little bit too far with the super heavy ones. We'll turn in a little bit better. Continuous fire here. Another one goes up in flames. The Admiral just pummeled. Continuously pummeled. I think more or less all fire is now being directed towards the Admiral. He surrendered, he's on fire, he's gone. Leaving the only ship fighting up here, HMS Invincible. It's a battle cruiser, not very invincible, as it's now... Oh no, I completely missed the Hercules. Let's see, the heavies... The heavies have received some hits, but not a lot. I'll start turning them in. And then these will kind of come along here. With the second one following, and as well as the fourth group turning around, continuously firing as we go. We kind of will be blocking each other, but I thought the battle wouldn't last this long. Also, the second group, the one that's kind of shielding the Admiral group, quite a lot of those ships have, as we can see, suffered a lot of damage. And given that most of the British fleet is now defeated, would be a shame because it takes so long to recruit these ships. So I'm actually going to drag them out of order here. And we're going to leave it to the big super heavy dreadnoughts to finish the job together with the still intact ships of first and fourth group to finish the job, as it were. So the British now only have 4 ships left. The Hercules, King Edward, HMS Britannia, and Achilles. I'm hoping we're focusing to focus more fire towards this group right here with my super heavies. Start to turn up a little bit, and in that way turn more guns to bear on the enemy. Actually, first group will hold, first and fourth group will hold completely here. Not fourth group, actually. The armored cruiser Aurora will continue forwards. But everyone else will hold and keep firing on the enemy. As these have now taken kind of a back seat, they can I can still actually turn them to fire on the enemy. I should really turn them the... No, this should be their strong side that I'm turning against the enemy now. So the one that actually still has quite a few guns on it. And now it's just a matter of time of leveling, turning the British fleet into scrap metal. Oh, I did not notice so many of their ships have exploded or sunk through this. Okay, so we've got Britannia retreating, surrendered on fire, definitely taking on water, leaving only King Edward. Standing. Not for much longer, as he's receiving all the ships are concentrating their fire on him right now. Might have to turn some here, as we're now no longer aiming it for a fleet, but we're aiming for a single ship. There we go, they're all surrendered, it's all over. They're all destroyed. And victory's been had. I have lost not a single ship. However, a lot of my ships are broken down quite a bit. And we would need to go to port before I would be confident in arraying my fleet against another fight. But this was a good victory. A stunning victory over the British Navy, and I should be able to clear the seas quite quickly, hopefully. I would say before December I should have total control of the seas around Great Britain. And here we have it. So we deployed 16 ships against 14 of the enemy. The enemy lost 9. 5 of the enemy's ships are still remaining, which I don't know how that works, because there was only like 3 ships actually left. All the others were like broken up and destroyed, or maybe I have to go back and check that, but I'm pretty sure there was only 3 ships left there at the end. All the others have catastrophically exploded or were gone. Right, it only counts as 2 kills for us, which is kind of odd. Lots of chevrons gained for all the ships, very good. And part of German naval superiority has started. Wonderful. Sinking the bastard. Confident admiral. Blub, 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 blub. We'll be turning back. And we'll be turning to one of our ports down here. I alt-tabbed, so that's why the flags are gone. I'm not entirely sure exactly why that's happening. Well, it's been happening is because I alt-tab. But I don't know what about an alt-tab does that. As much as I would want to send this guy over, I'm thinking we're going to get this fleet actually to this port. So it's Paul von Letov-Vorbeck that is going to be moved first with this fleet. We're probably not going to make it all the way to Scotland. So what we'll do, the thing is I want to move as soon as possible. So next turn we'll already send it out to here. And then I'll bring this fleet down to stand next to them. And that should be enough to deter this fleet from coming out, as most of it is pre-dreadnoughts and armored cruisers. Even though he has maybe as much as 3 of these Queen Elizabeth super heavies. I still have 5 that barely took any damage in that fight, so I don't think he's going to come out to fight me, and that means that I will be able to bring that halfway, and then next one I'll be able to land, and the turn after that Edinburgh, Scotland will be free, and then we'll screw for the British. Then Letov can kind of keep in the area, kind of fight these back and forth. Yes. Anyways, I feel like I've done a lot of like tactic or big strategic talking, where I've gone over what's going on. But anyways, really good. We sunk a British fleet. We took 2 provinces. All nice and well. Victory is within our grasp. As always, I say, hopefully you guys enjoyed this one, and hopefully I'll see you guys for the next one. Bye.